So very good morning online and offline students. Today we are going to discuss the question answers from the chapter Growing Up as Boys and Girls. Okay, so the question number 1 of your book, are the statements given alongside true or false? Quote your answer with use and example. Here, the statements are written with the blue color ink. So the first statement is all societies do not think similarly about the roles that boys and girls play. Yes, Manveer. Is the statement true or false? Manveer, unmute yourself. What do you think? The statement 1 is true or false? All societies do not think similarly about the roles of boys and girls play. It's a true. It's a true statement. Statement is true because in most of the society, the work of boys is given more importance than the work of girls. Now the next is, our society does not make distinctions between boys and girls when they are growing up. Is this statement true or false? Yes, Manya. Does not make, मतलब our society make distinction. यहाँ पे स्टेटमेंट में है our society does not make, नहीं करती है, but in our society that makes distinction. Okay, can you give me any example for this? Like toys, soft toys, dolls for the girls, cars and other things that for the, जैसे उनके लिए football, cricket, that for the boys. In that way, ठीक है? Women who stay at home do not work. Yes, Amanat. False. Can you correct the statement? Can you justify the statement? आपने इसमें example भी देना है. You have to give the example. Okay, they do work. They do a lot of household work. Washing clothes, utensils, sweeping, mopping, everything. Now, from the online students, the work that women do is less valued than that of men. Yes, Shipra.
Ma'am, it is true.
Okay, it's true. Can you justify it?
Ma'am, women do a lot of work. The main responsibility of all housework and caregiving task lies with women, but it is not valued and less valued than that of men.
Okay. So the work they are doing at home, that is not recognized. We always devalued the work, Hana? Because the women has to look after the household work, caretaking jo hai work that is done by the women, but we are not paying worth to that work. Now the next is second question. Housework is invisible and unpaid. Housework is physically demanding. Housework is time consuming. Write in your own words what is meant by the terms invisible, physically demanding and time consuming, and give one example for the same. Invisible. Invisible, yes, Jasmeet. What do you mean by visible? Invisible. That is not visible with eyes. जो दिखाई ना दे. आपको कहा है first tell the meaning of this. What do you mean by invisible? And in exam you are going to write down in the same way. The work which is not seen from eyes. Invisible means the work which is not visible from eyes. Can you give example related to that? Washing clothes, cleanliness, cooking. How much time they spent in that? It means we are not going to worth it. है ना? उस time को हम क्या कह देते हैं? हम उसको invisible कर देते हैं उस चीज. ठीक है? For example, the amount of time and labor that goes in preparing the food, cooking the food, washing the clothes, cleaning utensils. Now the next is physically demanding. Physically demanding. Yes, Aditi. Very good. So physically demanding means we have to do a hard manual work. Like in the rural areas, they fetch waters, they carry load on their heads, and whenever they are cooking food, at that time they keep on standing. Hana, for 1 hour, for 2 hours, they have to keep on standing when while washing the clothes, sweeping and mopping, and they have to bend down. So a lot of physical strength is required for doing all that work. Now, Manveer, can you please tell me the third meaning? Time consuming. Time consuming.
Time consuming means that serious household work that takes much time. For example, women routine begins from early morning and continues. Time consuming various household work that take much time. Time consuming means that various household work take much time. For example, women's routine begins from early morning and continues up to late night. During this period, they are seen busy in fulfilling the needs and wishes of their family members. They often sit with their children and help them in completing their household work. This is
So
a
whenever the women are cooking
good
food,
example
they
of
are washing
time
clothes, that
consuming
is the
work.
time consuming. Hana, when the women is performing a role of caretaking. जब आप किसी की केयर कर रहे हो, elderly people की, आपकी, sick people की at home, that is invisible. ठीक है? And whenever they are washing clothes, physically demanding, whenever they are fetching water in the rural area, that is the physically demanding work. Now, that next question you can do your own. Make a list of toys and games that boys typically play and another for the girls. You can make a list. List बना सकते हो. Okay, you can make a list and then you have to write your own. If there is a difference between the two lists, whenever you are preparing the list, you can easily find is it different or is it same. Okay, can you think of some reasons why this is so? Does this have any relationship to the roles children have to play as adults? Now, this is your own question. You have to think about this because you have to prepare a list where the toys given to the girls, toys given or games played by girls, toys given to the boys, and games played by boys. So, whenever you are preparing the list, you can find out the differences and you can easily find out the reasons. So let us discuss few extra question. ठीक है, इसमें से और देख लेते हैं. If we can discuss the extra question from this chapter. How were the schools in Madhya Pradesh for the girls designed differently from that of boys? How were the schools in Madhya Pradesh for the girls designed differently that from the boys? Yes, Akshara. The girls' school was designed very differently from the boys' school. They had a central courtyard where they played in total seclusion and safely from the outside world. The boys' school had no such courtyard and the playground was just a big space attached to the school. Very good. Now the next question is, how are domestic workers treated by their employers? How are domestic workers treated by their employers? Hurry up. Domestic workers do a lot of work like sweeping, washing clothes, utensils, cooking and looking after the children. It means we are not valuing that work. Okay? A domestic worker works begin early in the morning and finishes at late night. So despite of hard work, the employers do not show them such much respect for them. Okay, and they are paid very less wages for despite of doing so much hard work. Okay, there are two case studies. One is of Samoa Island and another is of Madhya Pradesh. You can also prepare these. You can prepare 5 points from each. Okay, other than that, you have to learn the key terms that are given at the end of the chapter. Okay,